morning/afternoon/evening, everyone. It is truly an honor to stand before you today and share something that I believe is of utmost importance in our journey toward personal growth, fulfillment, and peace. There are certain things in life that are sacred, private, and deeply personal. Things that, if shared with the wrong person or at the wrong time, can leave us vulnerable, disoriented, and misdirected. Today I want to talk to you about 5 things that you should never share with anyone. These are the treasures of your life, and they must be protected with wisdom, discretion, and care. You have a purpose in this life, a dream, a calling. It's a vision that is uniquely yours, a picture of your future that no one else can see but you. The problem is when you share your vision too soon, people who don't see what you see, people who may not believe in your dream, can easily plant seeds of doubt. They can discourage you or cause you to second guess your direction. Your vision is like a seed that needs time to grow and take root. Protect it, cultivate it in private, and let it flourish in silence until it's ready to be shared with the world. We all have secrets, things we've experienced, feelings we've had, parts of ourselves that are deeply personal. While it's important to have people we can trust, sharing your most intimate secrets too freely can open the door to manipulation or misunderstanding. Secrets are powerful. They are sacred. Only share them with those who have proven to be worthy of your trust. And never forget that not everyone is equipped to handle your vulnerability with care. You have been given gifts, skills, abilities, talents that make you special. These gifts are your potential to change the world, to leave your mark, to build something extraordinary. But here's the thing, not everyone will appreciate your gifts. Some will admire them, yes. But others may try to use or exploit them for their own benefit. When you share your gifts, share them with those who recognize their worth and will encourage you to grow. Don't throw your pearls before swine. Be discerning about who you share your talents with. Money is a sensitive subject. Your financial plans, your goals, your dreams of success, these are not things to broadcast to just anyone. Money can create envy, jealousy, and even competition among those around you. There's wisdom in being private about your financial strategy. But when you're working towards something, especially something big, keep your financial matters close to the chest until the time is right to share. Don't let others' opinions or judgments influence your journey to success. Now, this doesn't mean we should ignore our mistakes. No, we should learn from them, grow from them, and move forward with them. But there's a difference between sharing a failure as a lesson and broadcasting it as a weakness. When you share your failures too freely, you may unintentionally bind yourself to them. People may start to see you through the lens of your past mistakes, and they may limit your potential based on your history. Yes, we all fall, but we must rise again. Keep your failures in perspective, learn from them, and allow them to be the stepping stones to greater success, but don't let them define you. As you walk through life, understand this, not everything needs to be shared, and not everyone needs to know your business. You are the steward of your own life. Your vision, your secrets, your gifts, your financial goals, and your failures are all parts of your personal journey. Share them wisely. And know that there are moments in your life when silence is not only golden, it is powerful. There is power in keeping certain things private. Your peace, your direction, and your strength are often found in the things you choose to keep to yourself. Protect your dreams, guard your heart, and move forward with the knowledge that some of the greatest blessings in your life are the ones that remain between you and your Creator, and sometimes between you and your own soul. Your personal vision is the driving force behind your life. It's the clear, compelling picture of where you see yourself in the future, the legacy you wish to create, and the impact you desire to make in the world. This vision is not something you simply stumble upon. It is something you must intentionally cultivate and protect. It is unique to you, as individual as your fingerprints, and it is often what gives your life meaning and direction. There is something about sharing that vision too soon or with the wrong people When you reveal your vision prematurely, especially to those who do not understand or share your passion, you risk opening yourself up to criticism or doubt. People who have not experienced your journey or embraced your passion may unintentionally dismiss your dreams as unrealistic, impractical, or too ambitious. In doing so, they can create doubt in your heart, making you question whether you're on the right path or if your dream is even possible. Your vision is sacred, it's the foundation of your future. Before it can be nurtured, refined, and brought to life, it needs to be protected from the negativity and judgment of others. Share your vision with people who inspire you, who encourage you, and who truly understand the power of what you're working to accomplish. Don't allow anyone's skepticism to derail you before you've even had a chance to see it manifest in your life. People who are not aligned with your values or dreams will often try to influence you, not out of malice, but from a place of ignorance or fear. They may offer advice or feedback that may not be grounded in your reality. The beauty of your vision is that it doesn't need the approval of others to exist or to thrive. You were given that vision for a reason, and it will unfold in its own time, in its own way, as long as you remain steadfast and focused. The temptation to seek validation or approval can be strong, but real progress is made when you remain true to your own path, not when you seek the approval of others who are not walking in your shoes. So in the early stages of building your dream, protect it fiercely. Let it be your internal compass. Keep it in the sacred space of your heart, where it will grow and evolve with each decision you make, each step you take toward its realization. The right people, the right time, and the right place will present themselves when the vision is ready to be shared with the world. Until then, trust the process, and remember that the power of personal vision lies not just in the dream itself, but in the unwavering belief that it is yours to fulfill. Your personal secrets are pieces of your soul, parts of your identity that you hold sacred. These are the things that define you at your core. The experiences, thoughts, and emotions that shape who you are, but that you choose to keep private. In a world that often thrives on openness and transparency, there is something powerful about keeping certain aspects of your life sealed off from the public eye. Not everything needs to be shared, and not everyone deserves to know the deepest parts of your heart. There is a profound strength in maintaining discretion, especially when it comes to your most intimate experiences. The truth is, your secrets can be both a source of vulnerability and empowerment. Sharing them indiscriminately can expose you to the risk of being misunderstood or judged. Not everyone has the capacity to hold your secrets with care. Some might use them against you or twist them in ways that serve their own agendas. Even well-meaning individuals may not fully comprehend the weight or significance of what you are sharing, and in their lack of understanding, they might inadvertently hurt you. Your personal secrets carry a form of protection. They serve as boundaries that safeguard your emotional well-being. When you open up too freely, you might feel an emotional relief in the short term, but you also leave yourself susceptible to manipulation, betrayal, or even exploitation. People may not recognize the sacredness of what you are entrusting them with, and that can create wounds that take longer to heal. Trust is a delicate thing, and not everyone is worthy of it. It takes time to build trust. And even then, it's important to remember that there are some things that can never be shared simply because they are too precious or too fragile to expose to others. By holding on to your secrets, you create a safe space for yourself where your true thoughts, feelings, and experiences are preserved. This doesn't mean living a life of isolation or distrust, but rather exercising discernment in who you allow to access these intimate parts of your life. When you choose to share something deeply personal, it should be with someone who has proven they can be trusted with that vulnerability, someone who will handle it with care and respect. This kind of person is rare and valuable, and it takes time to find those relationships that can truly bear the weight of your inner truths. Keeping your secrets can also be an act of self-preservation. You don't need to justify your reasons for keeping certain things to yourself. Sometimes revealing too much can weaken your position in the world. People may see you through the lens of your secrets, perhaps treating you differently based on what they know. Even if that knowledge is incomplete or misunderstood, Keeping your secrets allows you to define yourself on your own terms without the interference of external judgment or preconceived notions. There's also something deeply empowering about maintaining ownership of your inner world. Your secrets represent your history, your journey, your scars, and your triumphs. They are part of what makes you uniquely you. When shared too freely, they can lose their sacredness, their power, and sometimes their meaning. Your personal secrets are yours to keep, yours to protect. Only when you feel safe, truly understood, and ready should they be offered to others. Until then, they remain an integral part of who you are, and they deserve to be held with the utmost care and reverence. Your unique gifts and talents are an intrinsic part of your identity, woven into the fabric of who you are. These gifts are what set you apart from others, abilities, qualities, and skills that, when nurtured, can lead you to greatness. They are not just what you do well, they are what you were born to do, the essence of your potential. But here's the thing, these gifts are precious, and not everyone will recognize or appreciate their value immediately. In fact, sharing them too freely or too soon can sometimes invite misunderstandings or unwanted competition. There is an inherent beauty in your talents that makes them uniquely yours. Whether it's a natural ability to inspire others, a creative flair, a technical skill, or a deep understanding of complex subjects. These gifts are part of your personal blueprint. When you expose these gifts to people who are not ready to see them for what they are, or who don't understand their depth, they may not be appreciated or used in the way they deserve. Instead, they could be overlooked, undervalued, or even manipulated. When you share your gifts with the wrong people, you risk having them misunderstood or worse, taken for granted. People who don't recognize the potential within you may either dismiss your abilities or try to use them for their own gain. It's not necessarily that others have bad intentions. Sometimes they simply don't understand the depth of your talents and what they represent. Your gifts are part of your purpose, and they need to be nurtured in an environment that will honor and value them. By being selective about who you share your talents with, you protect your potential. The right people, the ones who will see your gifts for what they are, will be the ones who support you, encourage you, and help you refine your abilities. These are the people who will understand that your talents are not just for show, but for something much deeper. They will challenge you to grow and inspire you to use your gifts in ways that bring fulfillment and meaning to your life. Your talents are your power. They are not to be wasted or given away freely, especially to those who do not understand their value. Sometimes sharing too much too soon can lead to exploitation. Your unique abilities are meant to serve a higher purpose, and that purpose must be aligned with your values and vision. Only when you feel ready, and only with those who understand your mission, should you allow your gifts to shine fully. This doesn't mean hiding them or being secretive, but rather being discerning about when and how you use them. There's also an emotional and spiritual dimension to your talents. They are gifts from within, and the way you use them can impact your sense of self-worth and your connection to the world around you. When you give your talents away without consideration, you may feel depleted, unappreciated, or taken advantage of. But when you share them in the right way, at the right time, with the right people, they become an abundant source of energy and fulfillment. Your unique gifts are not meant to be tossed around recklessly, nor should they be used to compete or prove your worth to others. They are part of your personal journey, and they deserve to be handled with care and intention. It is when you guard and nurture your gifts that they will have the most profound impact, not just on your life, but on the lives of those who truly understand their value and who are in alignment with your purpose. Your financial plans are some of the most sensitive and important aspects of your life. They hold the power to shape your future, providing you with the resources needed to achieve your goals, secure your peace, and create a legacy. However, sharing your financial strategies too freely can invite unwanted scrutiny, judgment, or even negativity. Money has the ability to stir up emotions in people, and when it comes to your financial plans, it's essential to maintain a level of discretion. When you speak too openly about your financial goals, whether it's a desire to invest, save, or build wealth, you open yourself up to a world of opinions. Some people will encourage you, others may offer unsolicited advice, and a few may even criticize your choices. The issue with sharing your financial plans is that not everyone will understand your vision or the steps you're taking to achieve it. Some may question your methods or try to impose their own ideas on how you should handle money, even if their perspective doesn't align with your goals. The temptation to seek approval or validation for your financial decisions is natural. However, your financial journey is uniquely yours. It's shaped by your experiences, your values, and your ambitions. When you share your financial plans too freely, you invite external influences that can cloud your judgment or make you doubt your choices. People who don't share the same values or perspective on money may even try to impose their own agenda, potentially leading you off course. Financial matters require focus and clarity, and the more you share, the more you risk inviting external noise that can derail your progress. Money tends to trigger competitive or envious feelings in others, even if they don't express it directly. When you speak about your financial success, dreams, or ambitions, you may unintentionally spark jealousy or resentment. Some individuals might view your financial achievements as a reflection of their own perceived shortcomings, and this can lead to unnecessary friction or tension. Sharing your plans can invite unwanted comparisons, where others measure their own success against yours, often in a negative light. This can create unnecessary stress and distraction as you work toward your goals. Keeping your financial plans private also allows you to move with a sense of security and confidence. It enables you to focus on your goals without the added pressure of meeting others' expectations or facing external judgment. It protects you from people who may want to influence your financial decisions for their own benefit, or who may try to manipulate your ambitions. Your financial journey is deeply personal and should be kept within your circle of trust, shared only with those who have earned your confidence and who have a vested interest in seeing you succeed, not those who might try to take advantage of your situation or your vulnerability. When you maintain discretion about your financial plans, you also protect your peace. There's a quiet power in focusing on your goals without feeling the need to justify them or explain them to others. Financial stability, wealth, and success come from discipline, patience, and smart decision-making, not from the approval of others. The less you share about your financial plans, the less likely you are to encounter distractions or unnecessary pressures that could cloud your vision and hinder your progress. Your financial success is an extension of your personal journey, and it should unfold on your terms according to your timeline and your values. The key to financial success is often in keeping your plans private until they are realized. When you're working toward a goal, especially a financial one, silence and focus are your greatest allies. Keep your plans close to the chest until they are ready to be unveiled, and let the results speak for themselves. By doing so, you protect your ambitions, minimize external interference, and preserve the integrity of your financial journey. Your failures and mistakes are an inseparable part of your journey, but they are not to be shared carelessly with everyone. They shape your growth, teach you valuable lessons, and push you to evolve into a better version of yourself. However, there's power in keeping these experiences more private, especially when they are still fresh or unresolved. When you expose your failures and mistakes too freely, you risk being defined by them rather than seeing them as stepping stones towards success. We all fail. It's a natural part of life. But the process of failure is deeply personal and often painful. When you make a mistake, it feels like a setback, an experience where your efforts didn't quite reach the desired outcome. But here's the truth. Those failures are not a reflection of your worth. They are simply a part of your learning process. The danger comes when you share these failures with people who are not prepared to understand or support the lessons you are learning. Some may view your failures as a permanent flaw or as evidence that you aren't capable. Instead of helping you move forward, they might reinforce negative beliefs that keep you stuck in a cycle of doubt. Not everyone is capable of viewing your mistakes with the same perspective you do. You may see a mistake as a valuable lesson, an opportunity to learn, but others may see it as a weakness or even an excuse to undermine your future endeavor. This is especially true for people who don't understand the complexities of your journey. They might judge you too quickly, And once shared, your failures can be used against you, not as a teaching moment, but as a point of criticism. Some may remember your mistakes longer than you do, holding them over your head long after you've learned and moved on. Sharing your failures can also prevent you from fully processing them. When you reveal your mistakes too soon, you risk letting others define your experience. Sometimes, in the aftermath of failure, you need time and space to reflect, heal, and learn before it's ready to be shared. It's important to allow yourself the grace to understand what went wrong and how to move forward before you seek validation or understanding from others. This internal processing time allows you to regain control of the narrative of your failure, ensuring that it doesn't have the power to define you. Another reason to keep your failures to yourself is to protect your emotional state. The world is full of people who may not be as compassionate or supportive as you need when you're recovering from a mistake. Some will offer sympathy, but others will offer criticism, judgment, or worse, indifference. This lack of emotional support can prevent you from growing in a healthy and constructive way. Instead of having your mistakes viewed through a lens of empathy and encouragement, you might find that people see them as a reason to dismiss you or doubt your potential. Your failures are part of your story, but they don't define it. They don't capture the full picture of your capabilities, your potential, or your resilience. Sharing your failures too widely can cause you to be judged based on moments of imperfection rather than your complete journey. Everyone makes mistakes, but it is how we rise from those mistakes that truly matters. There is strength in recognizing your failures, learning from them, and using them as stepping stones to greater achievements. But sharing them indiscriminately, especially before you fully process the lesson, can prevent you from fully reclaiming your power. Some lessons are meant to be private, quietly tucked away until they've had time to mature and turn into wisdom. The more you share your failures, the more you risk becoming stuck in that moment of mistake, rather than embracing the growth that comes from moving beyond it. Keep some things to yourself, allowing your failures to work for you, not against you. And when you are ready to share, make sure it's with those who have earned the privilege of seeing your journey in its entirety, who will help lift you up rather than hold you down. Your personal boundaries are essential for maintaining your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. They define the limits that you set for how others can treat you and how much you allow them to influence your life. Boundaries are not walls, but rather guidelines that help you preserve your sense of self and protect your peace. They are a declaration of what you will and will not tolerate, a silent but firm statement that you respect yourself enough to enforce your own needs. However, sharing your boundaries with just anyone can undermine their power and leave you vulnerable. When you reveal too much about your boundaries to others, you may inadvertently invite disrespect or manipulation. Some people, whether intentionally or unintentionally, will push against the limits you've set, testing how far they can go before you react. In sharing your personal boundaries too openly, you may give others the information they need to cross those lines. Your boundaries are meant to be felt, not constantly discussed. When people know where your limits lie, they may start pushing them, not out of malice, but because they now know where they can exert influence or control over you. The less you share about your boundaries, the more power you have in enforcing them without the interference of others. Your personal boundaries also protect your energy. Every time you allow someone to cross a boundary you've set, you give away a piece of yourself. It could be your time, your peace of mind, or your emotional strength. The more you share your boundaries, especially with people who may not understand or respect them, the more you risk depleting yourself. There is a certain strength that comes from keeping your boundaries firm and clear without the need for constant explanation. Not everyone will understand why you have certain limits or why you need space. And some may try to guilt you into lowering your standards for the sake of convenience or comfort. But when you keep your boundaries intact, you ensure that you're preserving the best parts of yourself for the things and people that truly matter. The danger of sharing your boundaries with the wrong people is that they may see them as negotiable or open for discussion. When you clearly communicate what you need, and others either don't respect it or try to manipulate it, you face the possibility of having your peace and comfort compromised. The strength of your boundaries lies in the clarity with which you enforce them, not in how much you share about them. Boundaries are meant to protect you, not to be constantly debated or redefined by others. It's important to recognize that there are people who simply won't respect your limits, and giving them insight into your personal space only opens the door for more pressure and discomfort. Your boundaries are part of your self-respect. When you communicate your boundaries to the wrong people, you may inadvertently give them the power to diminish your sense of worth. People who disregard boundaries often see you as something to be used or manipulated rather than someone to be respected. The more you share about your boundaries, the more you risk feeling invalidated or misunderstood. People who do not value or respect your limits will take advantage of the knowledge you've given them, and in turn, they will erode your confidence and your peace. Your personal boundaries are meant to be a reflection of your values, your needs, and your capacity for self-care. Keeping them private allows you to operate from a place of strength, where others don't know exactly where you draw the line and therefore can't test it as easily. Boundaries are personal. They are there to protect your inner world, and once you start to share too much, you allow others to shape that world for you. In some cases, the less people know about your boundaries, the less they can affect your peace. Protecting your boundaries doesn't mean shutting others out or becoming isolated. It means knowing when to draw the line for your own well-being and understanding that your peace is worth more than the opinions or demands of others. When you keep your boundaries close to the chest, you maintain your sense of self and protect the sacred spaces that make you who you are. Boundaries are not negotiable, they are sacred. And sharing them should be done with discretion and only with those who understand and respect their importance. By doing so, you preserve the sanctity of your emotional and mental health and guard your peace from unnecessary outside influence. Your intimate relationships are some of the most powerful and delicate connections you will ever experience. They shape your emotional world, offer profound companionship, and serve as a source of comfort and support. However, these relationships are deeply personal, and sharing too much about them with others can expose vulnerabilities, invite judgment, or create unnecessary interference in the natural flow of those connections. Intimate relationships thrive in privacy, where the trust, affection, and respect between partners are nurtured away from the prying eyes of the world. The strength of an intimate relationship lies in the shared understanding between you and your partner. This bond is unique to the two of you and should not be diluted or influenced by external opinions. When you share too much about the private aspects of your relationship with others, whether it's personal struggles or moments of vulnerability, you open the door for unsolicited advice, judgment, or even gossip. People who are not part of the relationship may offer their perspectives, but their views are based on incomplete information and outside emotions. They might not fully understand the intricacies of the connection you share, and their input can create confusion, unnecessary conflict, or even divide you from your partner. In intimate relationships, trust is everything. When you expose the details of your relationship too freely, you risk eroding that trust, both within the relationship and with the people you share it with. While it's important to have a support system, constantly discussing your intimate life with others, especially those who do not have a vested interest in preserving your bond, can compromise the trust that has been built between you and your partner. Your relationship deserves space to grow, heal, and evolve in privacy. When shared too often, the sacredness of that trust can begin to diminish, and the outside noise can begin to chip away at the connection you share. Intimate relationships are built on shared moments and experiences that are deeply personal. These moments are what make your bond unique. Small victories, private jokes, deep conversations, and quiet understandings that are yours alone. When you share these experiences too readily with others, you risk losing the magic that makes them special. Others cannot understand the meaning behind these moments in the same way you do with your partner. And once these intimate details are shared, they lose their sacredness. What once felt private and meaningful may become tainted by external interpretations, turning your intimate relationship into something for public consumption rather than the personal treasure it was meant to be. There's a danger in relying too heavily on others for validation or advice regarding your intimate relationship. While it's important to seek guidance when needed, constantly bringing your relationship into the open can cause you to compare it to others, lowering your standards or making you question the authenticity of your feelings. People might unintentionally project their own experiences onto your relationship, leading you to feel confused or conflicted about what is right for you and your partner. Relationships are complex, and advice from others who don't fully understand your unique bond can cloud your judgment and create unnecessary turmoil. The intimate space you share with someone is fragile. It requires constant care and nurturing, and sometimes that means keeping things private. By doing so, you protect your relationship from external pressures, and you create a safe environment for both you and your partner to grow and evolve. This privacy doesn't mean isolation or secrecy, but rather a conscious choice to preserve the integrity of your relationship and allow it to develop in its own time and rhythm. At the end of the day, the foundation of an intimate relationship is trust, respect, and love. When you share too much, or when you invite too many opinions into your relationship, you risk letting others define what it should be rather than allowing it to unfold naturally between you and your partner. There is power in keeping certain aspects of your relationship sacred, in knowing that not everything needs to be seen or understood by the world outside. It's in these quiet, private moments that the real strength of your connection grows, and it is through them that your bond becomes unshakable. Your vulnerabilities are an integral part of who you are, a reflection of your humanity. They are the aspects of yourself that expose your deepest fears, insecurities, and weaknesses. While they make you relatable and capable of profound emotional connection, they are also fragile and need to be handled with care. When you share your vulnerabilities with the wrong people or at the wrong time, you open yourself up to potential harm, manipulation, or misunderstanding. Vulnerability is a powerful force, but it requires protection and discernment in how it's shared with the world. We all have moments where we feel exposed, whether it's our past mistakes, our emotional scars, or fears about the future. These are the raw, unrefined parts of us that can be difficult to navigate. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's an acknowledgement that we are human and imperfect. However, it's essential to understand that not everyone can hold that vulnerability with the care and respect it deserves. When you share your vulnerabilities with others, you are offering a glimpse into your inner world, and there is always the risk that this personal aspect of yourself will not be treated with the tenderness it requires. Some people may not understand the gravity of your vulnerability and could dismiss it, use it against you, or even manipulate it to suit their own agendas. Others may unintentionally judge you or create distance because of it, reinforcing the very insecurities you're trying to manage. This is why it's so important to be selective about who you open up to. Vulnerability should be shared with those who have earned your trust, who will hold it with the same care and compassion that you need in that moment. Without this level of understanding, your vulnerability can become a source of pain rather than a bridge to deeper connection. When you allow your vulnerabilities to be exposed too readily, you risk losing control over your own narrative. People may start to define you by your weaknesses or struggles rather than by the whole of who you are. This can create a sense of being misunderstood or even victimized. The more you share, the more likely it is that your vulnerabilities can be twisted into something they were never meant to be. They might be used against you later in ways that can be painful and disheartening. There's a quiet power in maintaining some of your vulnerabilities for yourself. Holding space for your own imperfections and struggles allows you to grow at your own pace, without the pressure or judgment of others. By protecting your vulnerabilities, you are giving yourself the time and space needed to heal and process before bringing them into the light. Not everything needs to be shared immediately. Sometimes it's in the quiet moments of self-reflection and personal growth that the greatest transformation occurs. This space allows you to take ownership of your vulnerabilities, empowering you to turn them into sources of strength rather than leaving them exposed to the whims of others. Vulnerability also carries the potential for deep connection, but it should be shared thoughtfully. When shared in the right way and with the right people, your vulnerabilities can create bonds that are built on authenticity and empathy. Vulnerability is a doorway to emotional intimacy and understanding, but it must be protected from those who might take advantage of your openness. It's a delicate balance between being open enough to allow others to see the real you, but guarded enough to prevent those who lack the capacity for compassion from exploiting it. When you share your vulnerabilities, it's important to do so with the knowledge that not everyone will appreciate them in the way they should be. Sometimes sharing too much can lead to emotional exhaustion as you give more of yourself than others are ready or willing to understand. It's crucial to maintain a sense of boundaries with your vulnerabilities, understanding that while they are a part of your story, they do not need to be exposed to everyone. You are allowed to keep parts of yourself private, to protect the aspects of your soul that need nurturing before they are shared with the world. Your vulnerabilities are not a weakness. They are a testament to your courage, your depth, and your capacity to grow. But they must be treated with care, especially when shared. The right people will respect them, help you heal, and offer the space you need to grow stronger. Until then, protect your vulnerability, keep it close, and share it only with those who will truly value it for what it is, an essential part of your humanity. Your ambitions and dreams are the fuel that drives your journey, the vision that propels you forward, even in the face of adversity. They're deeply personal and often reflect the deepest desires of your heart, your aspirations for success, happiness, and fulfillment. However, they are fragile and require protection. Sharing your ambitions and dreams too openly can sometimes lead to misunderstandings, discouragement, or even sabotage, especially from those who do not understand your vision or who are not aligned with your goals. These dreams are a part of your inner world, and they deserve to be nurtured carefully, away from the judgment of others who might not fully grasp their significance. Ambitions are the blueprint of your future, the ideas that shape your decisions, actions, and the way you approach every day. But not everyone will understand or appreciate the importance of your ambitions. People who may not share your passion or vision might dismiss your dreams as unrealistic or even laugh them off. They may fail to see the hard work, sacrifice, and dedication that you plan to invest in bringing them to life. In the face of doubt or criticism, it's easy to become disheartened or question the path you're on. Sharing your ambitions with those who don't understand or value them can introduce negativity, which can be toxic to the pursuit of your goals. There's also a certain vulnerability in exposing your dreams to others, especially when those dreams are still in their infancy. Ambitions are often fragile at the beginning, not fully formed or articulated, and they require the space to evolve without external pressure. When you speak too freely about your dreams, you might invite others to project their own fears or doubts onto them, which can weaken their power. They might tell you all the reasons why your dreams are impossible or impractical, discouraging you from pursuing them with the passion and confidence they deserve. These external voices can drown out the quiet, determined voice inside you that believes in your ability to make those dreams a reality. When you share your dreams with too many people, you risk attracting attention from individuals who might not have your best interests at heart. There are those who will not celebrate your ambitions with you, but will see them as a threat or an opportunity to compete. Some may subtly or overtly undermine your progress, either out of jealousy, insecurity, or fear of your potential success. They might criticize your dreams or suggest that you settle for something less ambitious, not because they are trying to help you, but because they are uncomfortable with your pursuit of something greater than what they believe is possible. In such cases, the very act of sharing your dreams can expose you to negativity that slows your momentum or even derails your efforts. Your ambitions are a reflection of your inner vision, your belief in the possibility of something greater, and your desire to create a life that aligns with your true purpose. They are part of your identity, and protecting them is essential. Sometimes Keeping your dreams private allows you the space to work through them, refine them, and transform them into a plan that is strong and clear. When you keep your ambitions to yourself, you are less likely to face distractions or doubts from others, allowing you to stay focused on the path ahead. The more you keep your dreams to yourself, the more they are protected from the judgment or influence of others who may not fully understand their significance or how hard you are willing to work to achieve them. When you keep your ambitions and dreams closer to your heart, they become a sacred part of your personal journey. You are free to explore, grow, and adapt your vision as you move forward. Your dreams don't need to be validated by others. They are for you and you alone to shape and create. In time, when you have developed your dreams into something tangible, and when they begin to take shape, you may choose to share them with those who are genuinely supportive and who understand the depth of your passion. But until then, it's important to protect them, allowing them the space to grow into something extraordinary without the interference of doubt, negativity, or unqualified advice. At the end of the day, your ambitions are yours to nurture and protect. They are the driving force behind everything you do, and they have the power to shape not only your life, but the world around you. Keeping your dreams private for a time doesn't mean hiding them or being afraid of sharing them. It simply means giving them the care, focus, and protection they need to flourish. Only when they are strong enough to stand on their own should you expose them to the outside world, knowing that by then you will have created a foundation solid enough to withstand whatever challenges may come your way. Your true identity is the essence of who you are, the core of your being that exists beyond the roles you play, the titles you wear, and the expectations of others. It is the authentic version of yourself that is shaped by your values, beliefs, experiences, and inner essence. Yet this part of you is incredibly personal and, in many ways, sacred. Sharing too much of your true identity with others, especially those who may not understand or respect it, can result in misunderstanding, judgment, or the feeling of being diminished in some way. The more you expose this deeper part of yourself, the more vulnerable you become to external forces that may try to alter, distort, or diminish it. Your true identity is not something that can be easily understood by others at first glance. It's often hidden beneath layers of social conditioning, past experiences, and the pressures of the world. It's easy to fall into the trap of defining yourself based on what others think of you or what society expects you to be. The danger in exposing too much of your true self is that it invites external influence. People who might try to define you according to their own perceptions or biases, rather than allowing you to live in alignment with your authentic self. When you share your true identity too freely, you run the risk of losing sight of who you truly are and becoming influenced by the opinions of others who do not have the full picture of your being. This is why it's essential to protect your true identity, allowing it to unfold in its own time and space. When shared too hastily, it can be misunderstood or misinterpreted, which can lead to disillusionment or confusion. Others may not fully grasp the depth of your identity or the nuances that make you who you are. Their limited understanding can result in them trying to label you, judge you, or impose their own beliefs and expectations on you. By keeping your true identity somewhat guarded, you allow yourself to remain whole and undisturbed by the external forces that may try to shape you into something you're not. Your true identity is also intricately tied to your inner peace and sense of self-worth. When you reveal too much of it to the wrong people, you may expose yourself to the risk of being judged or criticized for aspects of your personality, values, or desires that others might not understand. This external judgment can lead to feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt, which can cloud your ability to see yourself clearly. In the process of trying to explain yourself to others, you may lose sight of the beautiful complexity that makes you uniquely you. You might begin to mold yourself into what others want you to be, forgetting that your true identity is not something that needs to be validated by anyone other than yourself. There is power in knowing your true identity and protecting it from the outside world. By holding it close, you maintain the strength to stand firm in who you are, regardless of the opinions, judgments, or expectations that surround you. Your true self does not need to be constantly shared or explained, because it's something that should be felt, lived, and embodied through your actions and choices. The more you share it with others, the more likely you are to encounter resistance or misunderstandings that can cloud your connection with your authentic self. Your true identity is constantly evolving. It's shaped by your experiences, your growth, and your understanding of the world. Because it's not static, sharing too much of it before it's fully formed or understood can lead to confusion or miscommunication. People may see fragments of who you are without seeing the full picture, and this can lead to the wrong assumptions or labels being placed on you. Allowing yourself time to grow and evolve without feeling the need to explain every aspect of your identity to others gives you the freedom to discover and embrace who you truly are. It's important to remember that your true identity is not something to be validated by others. It is a private and sacred part of you that deserves the space to grow and flourish on its own terms. Sharing your true self should come from a place of deep trust with people who understand and honor the complexity of your being. Until then, keep your identity close and let your actions and choices reflect the authenticity of who you are. As you move through the world, your true identity will become more apparent through the way you live, the choices you make, and the values you uphold. Not because you need to explain it, but because it will resonate naturally with those who truly see you. The things we choose to protect, keep private, and guard closely shape the quality of our lives. Our true identity, our vulnerabilities, our ambitions, our intimate relationships, our financial plans, and our personal boundaries are sacred aspects of who we are. They're not meant to be shared with everyone, but rather cherished and preserved for those who truly understand their value and significance. The power to safeguard these aspects of ourselves lies in recognizing their worth and the strength it takes to maintain our personal space in a world that often tries to dictate how we should live, feel, and be. Remember, you are not obligated to share every part of yourself with the world. By choosing wisely what to reveal and to whom, you not only protect your peace, but also empower yourself to live authentically and unapologetically. You have the right to protect your dreams, your inner world, and your unique essence. Your life is yours to shape, and how you choose to protect and nurture these sacred parts of you is key to your personal growth, happiness, and success. Keep your most precious treasures close and trust that in doing so, you are cultivating a life of strength, clarity, and purpose. Never forget that your value is inherent and it doesn't need to be validated by others. It stands strong in the quiet strength of knowing exactly who you are and what you stand for.